right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High in the proper names in the Paleo-Hebrew tongue. I want to say, Kal Halayim, La, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakadash Ma'amath. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, whom the world eagerly and willingly call God of Jehovah. By Hashem meaning in the name of. Yahawashi meaning he who delivers, whom the world eagerly and willingly call JC today. I want to give a double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, and another double honor to my elder apostle as well, Ahar Wan bin Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the 144,000 hopeful elect pushing this truth across the four winds, and to the 1/3 remnant believers on Yahawashi Mashah. Shalom, shalom. It's going to be a quick lesson put together through the spirit and power of Yahawashi Mashah, and I pray that it be edifying. So this lesson is really going to be centered around Romans chapter 8, verse 35, but I'm going to start off in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." So when you come to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you have to prepare for the trials and tribulations that you're going to suffer in the flesh. You have to prepare for the incredulity of the people, the unbelief of the people, for everybody that's going to come against you. You have to fully be aware that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah have made our foreheads hard against their foreheads, those that be in the world. And you have to know and understand that they're going to maximize your flaws, and they're going to minimize your strengths. All right? It says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." So when you're going through something traumatic, traumatizing, you want to cleave unto Yahweh Shemashah, that you may be increased at your last end. Because you're going to have a lot of things that try to pull you, tug you out the truth. You're going to have a lot of people, family members, wives, children, demons are going to hop on them. And it's all going to be to try to see if you're going to fall away from Yahweh Shemashah. And in those times, you want to cleave unto the Lord. You want to cleave unto the Lord even tighter. You want to hold to his right hand even tighter. Call upon his name. Ask him to deliver you out of your situations. Ask Yahweh Shemashah to be with you in a situation to where it may cause you to fall. It says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." So you have to take tribulation cheerfully, knowing that Yahweh Shemashah is the judge, and knowing that he's going to take vengeance on your enemies, and knowing that he's going to pass out rewards. The reward for being righteous and the reward for being wicked. Right? So be patient when you are changed to a lower state. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity." So we represent that fine gold that will be tried in the fire. And that adversity, the things that come upon us, that test us, that tries us, it is evident that we are gold, because we shine forth as gold. It says, "Believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him." All right, that's what you got to do. You can't take matters into your own hands. This world will make you want to crash out. This world will make you want to lash out, and to make you just want to, go berserk. But you have to keep a calm mind and be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, and trust and know that it ain't not one soul on this earth that can escape the hands of the living power, the hands of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're not going to get away. So your day is coming. That fearful looking for judgment is coming. So you just got to sit back, relax, and wait your turn, because it's coming, and it's not going to skip over you. Right? It says, verse 7, "Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall." So, all right, we're going to wait on the Lord, man. We ain't going to come and try to take matters into our own hands. It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." So, right, that reward for being righteous in a wicked society is not going to fail. Some people out here, they can't handle the adversity that the Lord bring upon them, so they go and be wicked with the wicked. And ultimately, it's going to be a judgment for that. So right. So it says, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for mercy and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So look at how the Lord Yahawashi delivered our forefathers out of sticky situations. He gonna do the same thing for us every single time. So right. It says, verse 11, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saving in the time of affliction. So, Yahweh Shemashah, he'll let you sit in that fire. And then when he see that you have been refined to the level that he wants you to be refined, he gonna pull you out of that fire for a moment. And then guess what? You're gonna be right back in it. And each time you're gonna come back as a more pure, finer form of gold. A more pure, and ultimately, we're going to be as the gold of Ophir here in America. The Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. We're going to be those men who Yahweh Shemashah make more precious than fine gold. So right now the world try to look down on you, say you ain't got nothing, you ain't got this and you ain't got that. But they don't know and understand that riches and poverty come with the Lord. They get these little material things and they begin to boast in themselves. Oh, this my shit. Oh, I got it. Or I got this and I got that. The scriptures say it's an easy thing in the sight of the Lord to make a poor man rich. And he gonna begin to make a lot of people believers on his side, and they gonna know that they was wicked this whole time. And he's gonna make you sit and deal with yourself. He's going to make you sit and have to analyze yourself. And that's one of the hardest things you could do in this life, when you got to sit. When Yahweh Shemashah put you in that season, you got to sit and constantly analyze yourself over and over and over and over again. And then the whole time you getting Yahweh Shemashah judging you and put you in even more situations until you realize yourself, then he end up delivering you. So right, this is the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 33. It says, who shall lay anything, it says, Salakia, it says, for who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justified. So these, basically the people of this world, they try to condemn us and they try to blame us and they try to make it seem as if it wasn't, like I stated earlier, they maximize your flaws and they minimize your strengths. And everything that they see good in you, they make sure they keep quiet about it. And they constantly maximize your flaws. Whole time, their flaws are before the eyes of the living power as well. And he see that they don't even, they're not even trying to make they don't have a fighting chance to basically fix themselves because they don't feel as if that they do any wrong, right? It says, who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died. Yeah, rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Yahweh, who also making intercession for us. So as you sitting right here talking about this and that, oh, this man this and this man that, and that man ain't got shit, he the whole time Yahawashi, the very one who you claim to pray to, is praying for that very same man, sending blessings to that very same man. It's uplifting and exalting that very same man at the very same time that he's bringing you low. So right. So you might be up one moment, but a few sticky situations in Yahweh Shemashah can have you lower than you ever been in your life. Right? It says, verse 35, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? It ain't nothing on this planet that can separate us from the love of Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi. It ain't nothing on this planet or, outside the planet that can take the love that we have for Yahweh Shemashah away. Because Yahweh Shemashah is the one who's strengthening us and who's building, something within us that's causing us to one day be called, his elect. Right? It says, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation? Right? The things you go through in this on this earth, it ain't going to be able to separate you from the Lord. It's going to cause us to draw closer to the Lord. But most people go through tribulation and they fall out the truth. They turn to their wicked devices. They begin to be wicked. and then ultimately they don't understand that it's a reward for being wicked. It says, or distress, right? So when we going through it, stressed out here, or we turn to Yahawashi Mashiach. So it ain't gonna be able to take us out the truth. It said, or persecution, people coming against you, saying all manner of evil things about you. The whole time the person that they justifying is more wicked and evil than you. All right. It said, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword. It says, as it is written, for thy sakes we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. So we're gonna take our lick, man. His brother dropped a video a couple of years ago that said, run to the guillotine. So when the time comes, we're gonna know that it's better to run to the guillotine than to take the chip. A lot of people who can't receive tribulation, who can't endure tribulation, those very same people are gonna take the chip. And the Lord Yahawashi Mashiach gonna put it in their mind to take it. It says, verse 37, nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. All right, we are conquerors on this planet because we able to endure. We able to have that tenacity, that drive to keep going no matter what we go through, And that's a character trait that only the elect will have. And a lot of people envy that because they can't have it. They go through a few losses and then they just lose their fucking mind, And Yahawashi Mashiach see that. So these are individuals that Yahawashi Mashiach will begin to separate from you because they're going to become a burden, a burden, constantly weighing your spirit down, constantly trying to pull you out the truth, constantly trying to war with the righteous spirit within you and constantly trying to get you to pay attention to that wicked spirit that they have. So, right, it says, verse 37, nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach Yahawashi our Lord. So, right, it ain't nothing that exists that's able to remove us from the spirit of Yahawashi Mashiach. Because the elect, Lord, well, I'm a part of that number, was chosen from the foundations of the earth to receive that salvation. So we're going to continually fight no matter what we go through to make it to the next level, so we can be exalted by Yahawashi Mashiach, not exalted by man, not exalted by a job, not exalted by the rich, the famous of this nation. We don't care about all that. Riches and poverty come to the Lord. And Yahawashi Mashiach gonna bless whoever he gonna bless. But even the elect, they gonna be happy with the little they got anyways. The wicked, they ain't gonna never be happy. You can't make a wicked person happy, So it's better that you separate. It's better that you separate and just, be who Yahawashi Mashiach called you to be. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. In verse 9, it says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his it says, and he have care for his elect. So it says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. When you put your trust in Yahawashi Mashiach, you're gonna understand what's going on. You're gonna understand why you go through certain things in your life. You're gonna understand that you still got a long way to go. You're gonna understand that you're gonna go through things, while you're here. Yahawashi Mashiach is gonna constantly continue to try you, to prove you, to see, are you worthy? He's going to constantly put you in that fire to see if you're going to come out as fine gold. Most people get put in that fire, they burn up. They can't handle it. They say it ain't working out. Oh, I ain't happy. So they do what makes them happy. Be wicked. You see what I'm saying? It says verse 10, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. So, right, you ain't spit in my face, you spit in the Lord's face. You see what I'm saying? So you spit in the Lord's face, and with that being said, you're going to have to deal with the very power that created you, It says, whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their work unprofitable. So you see it all the time. People, you have a woman or what the case may be, lead is truth, and you just think that she's just going to flourish once you get away from you. They begin to think that you are the problem. Whole time, they was the problem. So Yahweh Shemashah calls you to constantly go through things until you got this wicked person from around you. So now, what it says, verse 11, whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable. So they despise this wisdom, knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Shemashah. They don't desire the sincere milk. It says he is miserable and their hope is vain. The hope that they have, the hope that they think that they're going to achieve, in this world is vain. It says their labors unfruitful. All your work, everything that you're doing is for nothing. It ain't going to get you nowhere. It says, and their works unprofitable, right? It ain't going to get you nowhere. You think that you finna just flourish in the world and become this, great celebrity? Yahweh Shemashah, and he also can give you, everything that you ask for, just to watch you be destroyed by it. In some cases, you would think that you finna I live in Jacksonville, and during the height of the pandemic, they opened up a restaurant here called A Taste of Chicago, and they opened it up at the wrong damn time, right? So they opened up A Taste of Chicago, and I was going there to get certain foods. But before the pandemic of 2021, the restaurant was already closed. And that's typical Jake. They try to establish something here, and Yahweh Shemashah don't allow it to flourish. And then next thing you know, they moved that location to the north side, and they've been building on that shit since 2021. It's been there for years, and it never opened. You see what I'm saying? So, right. It says, verse 12, their wives are foolish and their children wicked. Their offspring is cursed. Therefore, blessed is the barren that is undefiled. So, right, you have to understand, the people in this world, the people that you exalt, the people that you chase, the people that you deem as somebody as important, the people that you choose over your family, your friends, those people are wicked. Their children wicked. They're going to be missile food. These are going to be the same people that Yahweh Shemashah destroy. And you go over here and holding hand in hand and loving on these people. So you're going to be destroyed right with them. It says their offspring is cursed. Their children cursed. And the whole time, your children blessed. You wasn't able to see the blessing because you got the eyes of this world, and you never came into the truth. You never came into being 100% righteous with Yahweh Shemashah. So you wasn't even able to realize the blessing that you had. It's like holding a box, right? And Yahweh Shemashah pouring straight gold in a box, and you done tore a hole at the bottom. So all your joy is constantly slipping away. You can't even hold your own joy in, because you're so busy looking at things that seem pleasing to the eye, but really destroy your soul. So therefore, Yahweh Shemashah is going to allow you to allow you to receive your wicked reward. It says their offspring is cursed. Wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which have not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of the soul. So right, the righteous women, of our nation that call on Yahweh Shemashah in truth and sincerity, they're going to be exalted. Those that don't choose, what does the scripture say, that choose another man instead of her husband, So right, the righteous sisters are going to be those that are saved in childbearing, but the wicked are going to be destroyed with the wicked. It says in verse 14, and blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands have wrought no iniquity. So, you have two forms of eunuch. You have a physical eunuch and you have a spiritual eunuch. A physical eunuch will be a slave. And they'll cut his rod off and his testes. They'll cut it off and they'll make him watch the women. So he won't they'll make him watch the wives, the king's wives. So he ain't got no rod, so he can't physically pop any of the king's wives, but they'll cut it off. You have a spiritual eunuch, one that is a eunuch for Yahweh Shemashah, that chooses not to deal with women, that chooses not to label women. It says, and blessed is the eunuch which with his hands have wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against Yahweh, for unto him shall be given the special gift of faith. Right. And that's just what it is, man. That's what we pray for. That's what we need, faith to be able to make it through whatever tests come our way. It says, for unto him shall be given a special gift of faith and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord, more acceptable to his mind. So, right, Yahweh Shemashah got something prepared. Yahweh Shemashah has something special prepared for, that brother, who chose to put Yahweh Shemashah first. So don't never feel so low about yourself to where, a woman do something against you, so now you feel like I'm just going to be a hoe. No, hell no, fuck these bitches. Plain and simple. You ain't got to give a bitch no eye contact. Become a new creature every day. Bitch, kiss the ring. You feel me? You don't have to just go out there and choose any harlot that you see. You see what I'm saying? Because they all ain't worth shit. They all ain't worth shit. So you have to pray that Yahawashi Mashah give you something according to his will, and what he gives you is going to increase. It's going to increase you, not tear you down every day. Make you feel as if that you ain't nothing. Make you feel as if you ain't shit. Maximizing your flaws and minimizing your strengths. So right, it says, verse 15, for glorious is the fruit of good labors. The root of wisdom shall never fall away. As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection. And the seed of the unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. You're going to be rooted out. You made your choice. You made your choice, and I hope you're very happy with the decision that you made. You see what I'm saying? And special shout out. I told you what it was a year ago. May the Lord allow you to fall into the hands of the super wicked, them niggas with them hats on. A tunnel, with your name on it. So that's just what it is, man. So just go ahead and be prepared. I remember dealing with, being around somebody and just watch that person have discernment for a situation. Walk up to a gas, you trying to pump your gas, Arab nigga say he drove. He's the way he say he drove all the way from North Carolina all the way to Florida, and he said he don't know how to work the gas pump. So now he looking at you, asking you to help you run the gas. Hey, can you help me pump the gas? Lights flickering and shit. The lights was flickering and shit over him. And you said, nah, just do it like that. You got in your truck. That was discernment. You see what I'm saying? Once you leave the spirit, once you leave the spirit of Yahawashi Mashah, your ass is accessible to whatever. I don't even know if I said that. You see what I'm saying? It's all out there. You have no protection. And we pass by wickedness every single day. But Yahawashi Mashah allow it to not come nigh thee. Now you out there in the open, it's gonna come nigh you all day long. You see what I'm saying? And you a new fruit. You something that used to have the righteousness of Yahawashi Mashah. Now you ain't got it no more. You used to have the light of Yahawashi Mashah. Now they want to fill you up. You see what I'm saying? Small hat style. So right, it says, verse 16, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and their seed and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded. So even if Yahawashi Mashah don't destroy you at this moment, you ain't gonna be nothing regarded. You're gonna live a life of pain, anguish, and sorrow, regret, and despair. That's what's gonna be your life about. Pain, anguish, sorrow, regret, and despair. It says, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. So you don't know what your trial gonna be. And I tell people this all the time. You never know how Yahawashi Mashah gonna judge you. Yahawashi Mashah can have you get in a damn car crash, and now you a damn vegetable. You see what I'm saying? And then now you realize all the people that you exalted in this life, they don't want to take care of you. They ain't finna feed you all damn day. But the same person that you look down on would have came through for you in any given place and time, and would have made sure that you had everything that you needed, and would have stood by your side, you reading you epistles, comforting you. So imagine you being a damn vegetable. All you could do is think and see, can't move shit, and then now the people that's watching over you is some goddamn small hats. You feel what I'm saying? So people don't think about these things. I say it all the time. I watch a woman that she be sitting in the hospital praying all day. She just want to feel the sun. She just want to go outside. She can't go though. She got cancer. Oh, this is every time I go in her room. Oh, this might be my last time. This might be my last time. You see what I'm saying? She told me I haven't lived the best life. You feel what I'm saying? So you did something in your past, and that same woman remind me of a certain someone. Now her affliction is she can't leave the hospital. She's stuck in prison. You gotta have a bash to get off that floor and some more shit. You see what I'm saying? So it just gets to a point where you never know what your trial gonna be. It says, verse 18, or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial, for horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. So just go ahead and be prepared. Get it in your mind every day. Go ahead. You could either be a damn dummy and do more wickedness, or you could just, you know what I'm saying, try to live a straight path and hope that Yahawashi shall have mercy on you, because mercy and wrath come from him. You know, and if you're an Israelite, you always gonna have, you know, you I ain't gonna say always, the ability to repent. But most people, you know, once they do wickedness, they are, oh, well, fuck it, I did it. You know, and that's where pride come in, and then they do more, and they add, and now they got a long ass bill. So now Yahawashi Shah might have killed your ass and unalived you in a good 15 seconds by way of a bullet. But now he say, nah, let them cook. Put them in there for about, you know what I'm saying, an hour of torture. Then, you see what I'm saying? So that's why it'd be best to just, you know, repent and just try to live a righteous life, you know, and accept what was. And understand that, you know, what you lost, you ain't gonna never get it again. You never get it again. You know, what you lost, you ain't never getting it again. You ain't never receiving it again. So you go ahead and get it out your mind. You feel what I'm saying? So, right. This is gonna be the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 15. It says, the eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cries. All right, Yahweh Shema Shah, he see what's going on. You know, and he listening. You know, and he's going to come through for you know, those that was trying their best to be righteous in a wicked society. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. So you can sit right here and boast and brag about what you have, who you is in this life, what you would do to somebody, try to play that tough ass gangbanger mentality. But the face of the Lord is going to be with those that are righteous. He says the righteous. It says, the face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. So your ass gonna be in the grave. You might be in an unmarked grave. You know, you're gonna fall into the hands of the living power, and you're gonna see. You're gonna know that the decisions that you made, that transpired from X amount of months, X amount of years, were wrong. Yes, sir. I'm recording the video. Building 11. Building 11. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No problem. You as well. It says, verse 17, it says, the righteous cry, and the Lord hear it, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. So, right, Yahweh Shema Shah, he's gonna deliver us out of all our troubles, man. Let me make sure I gotta crop that out. So, right. It says, the righteous cry, and the Lord hear it, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. So, right, you know what I'm saying? When the righteous shed tears, you know, from being wrong, Yahweh Shema Shah gonna hear it, man. It says, the righteous cry, and the Lord hear it, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. You know, that meek and humble spirit. It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord deliver him out of them all. And that's just what it is, man. You know, so we constantly going through something in this life. We constantly having to basically suffer, living around wickedness, living around people that try to tempt you. But no, you don't become the darkness. You remain a light in this wicked society. So when people see you, they're supposed to see the Yahawashi. They're supposed to see the light of Yahweh Bahashim Yahshai gleaming off of you. You see what I'm saying? And then they're going to be hated for it. They're going to hate you for it. But most people, they can't take being hated. They can't take standing up for Yahweh Bahashim Yahshai. You know? So the first thing they do is they adopt this alter ego, and they become a product of their environment. You know? They become a product of their environment, and eventually, you know, leave the light and enter into darkness wherever they go. It says, verse 20, he keepeth all his bones, and not one of them is broken. Yahweh Shema Shah, you know, to make sure that we are safe. But you, on the other hand, he gonna break all your bones. It says, evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. So, right, evil. Who is the evil? The main Esau Edom. You're gonna fall into the hands of Esau Edom because you wanted to be wicked. So now evil is gonna slay you. It says, evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. Right? You hate the righteous without cause for something that's not yours. You see what I'm saying? but you could have it, you know. So you try to figure out a way to maneuver into society to have something that wasn't yours, you know. So now you're gonna suffer the consequences for it. It says, verse 22, the Lord redeemed the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. So right, you can say, you can say whatever you want to say. You think that we just talking. You think that the Lord gonna allow you to go forth with your wicked plans, and you think that you think that you just gonna win. You're gonna win every battle. No, Yahawashi gonna have your ass drive off the damn bridge, and you gonna drown in your car. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna try to swim, and the shark gonna bite your ass, and you're gonna be looking stupid as hell. Like, ain't no way, boy. You feel what I'm saying? It's all right. Or you might run into a stray bullet. Come to the hospital. I scan your equipment. I'll drop it. Now your life in my hands, because I'm the one that you want a stat. When I see your name, you want a stat, huh? You feel what I'm saying? So you never know. You never know. Just know that when it comes to Yahawashi, you ain't going to be able to escape, man. But Yahawashi is going to make sure that the righteous escape. We're going to be nerfed. We're going to have all the game sliders up. We're going to have spiritual power. We're going to have teeth. It's all right, man. I pray this lesson was edifying. Shalom, on to the next.